Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another weekly episode where we look at some book covers and talk about what makes them work, and then let you vote for your favorite in the link down below. And speaking of down below, there are lots of things down there that we would very much appreciate you checking out, including my author website. I am your humble host, M.L.S. Weech, and I am an independent self-published author. And if you would go to my Amazon author page, take a look at some of my books and decide whether or not any of them interest you, I would be grateful. For now, I'm going to tweak this guy a little tiny bit. There we go. All right, where was I? Oh, so most importantly, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. You got lots of wonderful gifts and that you're super happy, surrounded by family you love, and that your outlook on 2022 is even brighter. Sometimes I have to count these years out, is even brighter than my hope that you had a great 2021. Speaking of 2021, we're still working on the 2021 M.L.S. Weech book cover of the year category, and we have the winner for December. The 2021 M.L.S. Weech book cover of the month of December is School for Spirits by Aaron Lewis. This cover here had a very beautiful line art, nice rendering. It is quite unusual. It's the kind of thing that you look at and you're wondering, like, what is happening? And that's a pretty good cover. So this cover, congratulations to Aaron Lewis, who is now eligible to win the 2021 M.L.S. Weech book cover of the year. But that's not the only winner we have to announce this particular week. The next winner we want to announce is the week 2 January book cover of the week. And that is going to be the Tinderbox by Elliott. So when I talked about this cover last week, I said it's going to be very interesting. It's such a unique and different cover. It really stood out. Obviously, all the other covers were nice. They had a lot of positive attributes. But when you combine unique with pleasing to look at, you usually have a winner, and that's the case with this one. So the Tinderbox joins Spark from last week and is in the tournament for the January book cover of the month. And now we can start looking at the covers as soon as I get this thing working. There we go. Now we can start looking at the covers for this week. First cover we're going to look at is In the House of Marsh by Stephen A. Mckay. So this is a pretty typical landscape. I like the color of the text. I like the choice of the text. Other than that, it's a pretty standard. You got a landscape, you got a house. The light's a little flat. Believe it or not, I think the text choice is what helped this kind of stand out. It creates nice contrast. So when you have a bland landscape like this, wise color choices in the text are going to help it to draw the eye. So that's really kind of why this cover stood out to me. The next guy we're going to look at is Soldiers and Guardians by Robert Ashe. We're going to bring that up for you guys right here. So I really enjoy silhouettes. Some people are not fans. I can respect that. So you have this this very common silhouette within a silhouette. I've mentioned a few times that I kind of think it's going to go in this direction, where like future covers are going to have like silhouettes and those silhouettes. I don't know how crazy it's going to get, but we're kind of moving in that direction. Believe it or not, I didn't realize I was a silhouette of a soldier until I brought it up right now to talk about it. I thought it was like a mountain landscape or something like that. But what I did like about it is you'll notice the helicopter has its space. It's not touching any of the edges. The soldiers each have their space. It's good detail, good separation. I like the color. I like the use of the text. The stencil font for a military story is that's pretty dated, but you know what? It's a cliche for a reason. I'm not really going to lose my cool over that. The color and the use of technique, those are two things that definitely stand out. And I wanted to give it some recognition, and you can vote for it in the link down below if you think it deserves to be the best of these covers. Before we do that, we got to talk about the rest of them. And that's kind of interesting. I'm going to hit share. Very interesting what's going on there. It looks like it's coming up the way it's supposed to. So this is Glass Stars by Catherine R. King. I think the light is a little overexposed. I think there's lost detail in the whites, and that's a little weird. But I love the starscape. I love the stairway or the ladderway or the spaceway, whatever you want to call that. And I think the figure is well rendered. If you just tone down that light a little bit, I'd be even more crazy about this cover. But I just love the shooting stars. I love the planet in the background. The text is well chosen and well placed, if a little hokey. It's just nice elements of each one. I don't know if this one will win or not. You guys decide those kind of things. But I think that if that brightness on the figure was just a little less intense, it'd be that much greater. And it's already a pretty stunning cover. Next cover we're going to look at is A Viral State by Deegan Hill. Share with you right now. So this is, we call this a text-based cover. Sure, you have a cityscape in the background and you have the dilapidation or the look kind of dystopian area, but it's really all about the text and the use of the font. And you don't see a lot of text-driven covers. I mean, they're out there, they exist, but they are a minority in the world of book covers. And when they do this well, they deserve recognition. So props for having the layering with the dystopian cityscape. I wanted to look in because for a second I thought I saw like a person over there. I do like the TIE fighter looking things, scanning the city. So all in all, it's not overly elaborate, but it's very, very effective in providing a sense of mood and providing the name of the title. I even like the spot coloring for the author text. So all the little things done well, even if nothing is done outstandingly. The next one we're going to look at, this is by quite a few authors, so I'm going to read these before I bring it up. This is an anthology called Fire of the Frost by Dorinda Jones, Amanda Boucher, Grace Draven, and Jeff Kennedy. I at least hope that's how you pronounce all those guys. All right, and this is the cover we're talking about. So in anthologies, it's a little harder to do anything particular. I mean, every now and again, you could do a cover from like the lead story or the best story, but then you gotta kind of come out with which one you think is best. And this imagery may be related to that, but more likely you have, you know, the flower petals because there's romance involved. It's not my genre, but it doesn't mean this cover's bad. And the crown. So usually you have the princes and princesses and flowers and that kind of thing. And this cover advertises all of those aspects well. I like the rendering of the crown. I think it's cool. I do like the little filigrees on the frost. I think it's weird though because it says frost and those are more flowery looking things. But you know, no knock on that. It's a well composed image. The detail of the artwork is nice, and the text, while a little confusing, isn't eye-wrenching or affecting the ability to read the title text. So all those things tie together in a very good way. The next cover we're going to look at is Shadows Awoken. Shadows Awoken by Selena A. Fenish. And so this is a very interesting cover. I like the duotone, the black and white. I'm looking at the art, and there are a couple other things. I appreciate this book cover because the figure on the cover, the feature figure, is not one that you would typically see in a portrait style cover, because this female figure does not conform to the traditional ideals of she's not a skinny, scantily clad female character, and that is very, very interesting. Most of your portrait covers, the women are sleek and slender and look like any woman you would see in a superhero movie. And they are, one of the phrases a former student of mine actually used is called traditionally attractive. And this is a heavier set figure in this portrayal, and I think that's very, very unique and more less relevant to this time period in the direction society is going, and more toward marketing. I just don't want to get into that entire discussion because I'm not trying to create a debate. What I am trying to say is this book cover markets toward a very toward an audience that would support that debate. My wife is a heavier set woman. She's beautiful and wonderful. And so I very much appreciate a book cover that speaks to individuals. I think everyone should, strive to be at their healthiest, at their best physical fitness. I know I have a lot of growth to go there, but that doesn't mean that people who are heavier should be shamed in any way. And seeing a book cover feature a heavier set individual, I think, is a very awesome approach, and it definitely is going to appeal to readers who are sympathetic or more, more aware that your average person isn't super thin and super athletic, and that is something that I just think is really neat. The line art and the detail and the text is well done. It's good branding. The figure in the background, I really actually would prefer that figure not be there. She's kind of going into the space of the main figure. I think she gets in the way more than anything else. But it's still well done art. It's still well conceived art. And I couldn't help but notice those things and think like, wow, that's really nice. That's an author who understands that, not every character has to look traditional. It's something even I should think about in my work. And I don't. So it's a little convicting in that regard. Although I do have a few main characters who are a little less than traditional, but they're coming out a little later. So getting back to this book cover, I really, really like, and I think the fish are weird too. The line art in and of itself is very, very well done. So I just want to give all the props to the designer and Selena Finish. Again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names. A lot of credit for targeting an audience that is not often targeted. And so big respect to that. And you can vote for it if it is your favorite. The last cover we're going to talk about is Ravens of Yellowstone by Russell James. This is a pretty standard cover. I like the use of the spot color in this title. I like the yellow. It really unites the whole piece. The raven is just amazingly rendered. And again, you talk about elements on top of elements. Notice even these guys over here, there may be a little bit of overlapping, but most of these ravens have their own space. And if there are any that overlap, they're so far in the background, they're so small, they're hard to notice. And that is good design. That is good design theory. you know, this, it's just a really cool rendered bird, and birds are cool. Birds, birds in flight are pretty fun to look at. Nice use of text, nice use of color. All the elements kind of combine to a project that's worth more than the sum of its individual parts. So those are your 7 nominees for this week. And we hope you'll take a minute to vote for your favorite down below. We need 2 more covers, this one of these and one additional one, to do the poll for January and keep moving toward the 2021 M.L.S. Weech Book Cover of the Year. Thank you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and have a very, very Merry Christmas. We'll see you again for the new year, so I'll give you that message when it comes. And as always, God be with you. See you around. Bye.